Leaving Memphis, we headed down Highway 61 into the Mississippi Delta, where blues music had its birth. Slaves in the cotton fields gave it voice, and small towns like Clarksdale gave it a home. A tiny visitor center in Tunica, Mississippi, welcomed us to the region. Down the road in Clarksdale, an old railroad passenger depot had been converted into a fascinating Delta Blues Museum. In it, we found artifacts and artwork celebrating the contributions of early blues musicians. Take a look around. Notable among the featured blues legends was Muddy Waters, who found his way to Chicago back in the 1940s and a successful recording career. The shack where he grew up had been moved from the Stovall plantation near Clarksdale to be preserved as testament to his humble roots. The Blues Museum had made us hungry for live music, so we looked for actor Morgan Freeman's Ground Zero Blues Club. But it was dark on Monday nights. The Paramount Theater had been dark since the 1990s, when it used to help host Clarksdale's annual blues and gospel festivals. Wade Walton was a barber and renowned musician who died in the year 2000. The little blues club attached to Wade's barber shop looked abandoned. No music there. So we checked out Cathead Delta Blues and Folk Art Shop, where I was able to buy a Muddy Waters early recording to take home. The owner directed us to Hambone, which does double duty as an art gallery and music venue. We were in luck. It had a nice bar and entertainment by the Reverend Robert. So we settled in. How would you like to sleep in a rickety old place bearing the name the Shack Up Inn? Our lodging near Clarksdale proved to be one of the highlights of our trip. We should have known when we checked in that this was no ordinary Airbnb. It was deliberately primitive. A former cotton gin building housed a bar, gift shop, and occasional music venue filled with vintage treasures of all kinds. When we were shown to our sleeping quarters, we were assigned to 2-bedroom shotgun houses that had served as homes for sharecroppers on the surrounding plantations. The nicest ones had verandas with rocking chairs, the perfect place to rock away your worries. The shacks had been artfully restored enough to provide basic creature comforts, such as cozy beds, indoor plumbing, heat and air conditioning, coffee makers, refrigerators, and microwave ovens. What more does a weary traveler need? Each shack bore the name of a notable Delta musician. Mine honored Pinetop Perkins, as shown in this painting, along with a piano that just begged to be played. The weather was perfect for gathering outside, where we could share food and drink and tell endless stories.
And the Navy provided the transport boats, which looked like they were made back in D-Day times.
As we looked around at our eclectic surroundings, we all agreed that the Shack Up Inn was the coolest place we had ever stayed. Truly one of a kind.